The BMW X5 nameplate is now 27 years old, and in that time, not much has changed. It has largely retained the same shape, carried over many of the same design cues, and, more or less, offered the same engine options. For the 5th generation X5, BMW has thrown almost all of that thinking out the window to create something very different from X5s of yore. Thanks to a new E-Class design, a bold interior, and 5 different powertrain options, the new X5 is as different as it's ever been. We've got all the details. We have a lot to cover here, but first, let's start at the front. The X5 comes with new XX headlights that may or may not resemble the logo of a certain social media app. Flip a switch, and they turn yellow, a nod to classic BMW M cars. If you want them off entirely, don't worry, there's a button in the cabin that shuts off the left bar. Around the side, you'll notice a lack of traditional door handles. Yes, BMW has followed in the footsteps of companies like Ford and Volvo by adding wing door handles operated by a button. This helps create a more streamlined design that, when revealed to us, was touted as an example of BMW's engineering competence. The doors can also be opened and closed via both the key fob and the BMW app on your smartphone, similar to the updated 7 Series. Toward the rear is where we see the most controversial addition, or dare we say subtraction, to the BMW X5, no split-folding tailgate. Sadly, one of the X5's signature features is now gone. BMW says this decision is based on customer feedback and a desire to create a more aerodynamic shape. Whatever the real reason is, we're sad it's gone. As far as size goes, the BMW X5 is 2.2 inches longer than the previous version, and 0.6 inches shorter. That puts it roughly on par, size-wise, with the outgoing BMW iX, a car that the new X5 is likely to replace worldwide within the coming years. The X5's weight also increases significantly. The base gasoline-powered car is roughly 300 pounds heavier than the old model, coming in at 5,213 pounds. The plug-in hybrid model weighs even more at 5,985 pounds. The pure electric 9.5, however, takes the cake as the heaviest of the bunch, weighing an astonishing 6,393 pounds, almost 1,200 pounds more than the regular internal combustion model. The X5 is the latest BMW to feature the brand's updated interior, found on all new E-Class cars. It has the same dashboard setup as the i3, but shares more in common with the recently updated 7 Series. The biggest similarity between the two is the addition of an optional 14.6-inch passenger display to complement the massive 17.9-inch center touchscreen. BMW's new vertical spoke steering wheel also makes its way to the X5. However, upgrading to an M Sport package gives you access to a more traditional M Sport steering wheel. The new X5 also retains the same panoramic iDrive system underneath the windshield, complete with an AI assistant that can help with in-car functions, as well as answer most of your non-BMW related questions. Interior materials are also a highlight of the new X5, with multiple surfaces receiving new accents. The center console, for example, can now be optioned with slate, a first for the BMW brand. Alcantara can also be optionally selected to cover both the lower portions of the dashboard, door cards, and even the wireless chargers. Glass controls for the seats are also optional. If BMW is proud of one thing about the new X5, it's that it has 5 different powertrain options. The new X5 is available with a combustion engine, a plug-in hybrid, a battery, a diesel, and even hydrogen. But don't get too excited yet, the diesel will not be making its way to the US, and the hydrogen power plant won't arrive until 2028. For US trims, BMW plans on offering a single gasoline X540 model, powered by a 3.0-liter straight-six engine making 394 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque. A single plug-in hybrid trim will be available in the US, the X550e, paired with the same straight-six engine mentioned earlier with a 26.5 kWh battery, making 489 horsepower. The more powerful M60e PHEV won't make its way stateside. The battery-powered X5S, or the 95, will also make its way to the US. As of now, BMW offers just one trim, the 9560. It features a new 141.0 kWh battery similar to that seen in current and future new E-Class BMWs. The battery sends power to all four wheels and makes 578 horsepower and 593 lb-ft of torque. The range for the 9560 is up to 435 miles in the US. The battery itself is an all-new archetype for the brand. The battery cells are the same seen on the recently revealed 93, however, they've been made slightly bigger to result in a 30% usability increase. This results in a denser battery, as well as reducing both physical battery size and its weight. The 2027 BMW X5 40 will start at $69,800. The X550e plug-in is more expensive at $77,500, and the fully electric 9560 starts nearly $10,000 more expensive than the base gasoline model, at $79,800. BMW plans to have the new X5 on dealer lots by the end of 2026. The legendary BMW M1 might have only been around for a few short years, but its impact has been massive. It has been nearly half a century since the wedge-shaped, mid-engine supercar entered production, but it is one model that even today's BMW executives can't stop thinking about. "I'm in love with the original M1, but I would love to do a new one," said Frank Van Meel, BMW M's boss, in an interview with BMW Blog. Oliver Heilmer, the head of M Design, echoed similar sentiments to the publication. While BMW has never made a proper M1 successor, the automaker has considered it on several occasions and even came close to producing a new one based on the 2019 Vision M Next concept. It has a 600 horsepower four-cylinder plug-in hybrid hypercar that was 95% finished, according to BMW author and historian Steve Saxty. The automaker was planning to launch the car sometime in 2022. Instead, BMW shifted its focus to the XM SUV and marketed the XM as the M1 successor. It has not been the hit that BMW was hoping for, with the automaker discontinuing the base version for 2026 and slashing the price of the XM Black label. The 2026 Jeep Recon is nearly ready to hit dealerships, which is why Jeep will finally let customers start customizing their open-top electric off-roader using the online build and price tool. For the first model year, the Recon will only be offered in the trail-rated Moab trim level, starting at $68,990, including the $1,995 destination charge. Other trim levels have yet to be announced for future model years. With the configurator now available, we can take a look at what colors, options, and packages will be offered on the Recon, and how expensive this electric off-roader can get if a customer decides to check all the boxes. Overall, Jeep has kept the offerings fairly limited, likely because the Recon won't be a high-volume product like the Cherokee or Wrangler. For 2026, 8 exterior hues are offered: bright white, hydro blue, red hot, 41, ceramic gray, diamond black crystal, silver zenith, and juice. White, blue, and red are all available at no cost. 41, a military-inspired green, gray, black, and silver cost $595, while orange is the priciest at $995. All of these colors can be paired with a black roof for an additional $995. 18-inch machine face-painted wheels come standard, while a more militaristic-looking 18-inch aluminum wheel is optional for $500, both wrapped with all-terrain tires. The only other exterior options include additional mirrors for $695, so you can still see what's behind you when the doors are removed, Mopar rock rails for $1,995, and a paint protection film for $595. Buyers can choose between two interior colors, Global Black and Joshua Tree, a light brown. A $1,995 comfort package adds ventilated front seats, heated second-row seats, an interior camera, and an auto-dimming rear-view mirror. Like the Wrangler, the Recon is available with a sliding Sky One Touch power top, priced at $1,995. The only other notable items to add include an all-weather cargo tray for $200 and an all-weather floor mat insert for $170, both from Mopar. If you plan to tow with your Recon, a trailer tow group rolls in 7 and 4-pin wiring harnesses, a Class 3 receiver, blind spot monitoring with trailer detection, and trailer hitch zoom for the rear-view camera. Since the EPA only rates the Recon at 222 miles of range, we doubt too many owners will use it to tow. If you add every single available option and the most expensive just paint, the Recon comes out to just under $77,000, not including destination. Since 2016, Porsche has been competing in the GT4 racing category with the Cayman. That changes for 2027, with Porsche basing the new race car on the 911 for the first time. It's called the 911 GT4 R. It has the race engine from the 911 Cup, producing 512 horsepower and 362 pound-feet of torque from its 4.0-liter 6-cylinder boxer engine, and a 6-speed sequential gearbox with paddle shifters. Porsche builds the new GT4 R on the technical foundation of the 911 Cup, but there are a few differences. The GT4 R's wheels are 1 inch narrower and use a 5-bolt mounting pattern instead of the Cup centerlock design. The rear wing has 11 adjustment positions, 3 selectable spring rates, and dual adjustable dampers. Inside, the GT4 has a 10.3-inch color display, an integrated data logger, and GPS. The new 911 GT4 R will cost $375,000, which includes import and delivery in the United States. The car will begin competing next year in the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge and SRO Pirelli GT4 America Championship. In the decade since Porsche joined GT4, the automaker has built more than 1,500 race cars based on the Cayman. Porsche Motorsport North America President and CEO Volker Holzmeier said, "The expansion of the 911 platform for use in GT4 allows for a simplified transition from Porsche 1-Make racing into GT4. Race drivers and teams will benefit from a shared platform with the 911 Cup across our Porsche Motorsport 1-Make system and Open Competition series across North America." Maserati's lineup is getting a major makeover. Everything from the Greycale SUV to the Gran Turismo Coupe and Gran Cabrio convertible will go under the knife for 2027. That includes new design cues for the entire lineup, particularly on the front end, lightly updated interiors, and a few enhanced performance stats depending on the model. Here's everything that's changing. It starts with Maserati's iconic GT car, the Gran Turismo. Under the hood is an updated version of the brand's twin-turbocharged 3.0-liter Nettuno V6, now making up to 582 horsepower in Trofeo spec. That allows the Gran Turismo to hit 62 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, with a top speed just shy of 200 miles per hour. Lower in the range, the 483 horsepower version is still available. Underneath, the Gran Turismo keeps its all-wheel drive setup and adaptive air suspension with adjustable ride height and damping modes. Maserati also tweaked the overall driving dynamics for a more comfort-oriented setting on the lower output version and a sharper, track-focused setup on the Trofeo model. Styling changes are evolutionary, but noticeable. The front end has been subtly reworked for improved aerodynamics, while the rear lighting treatment receives a more modern look. New wheel designs and expanded options further round out the update. Inside, the Gran Turismo benefits from a more polished digital interface, a redesigned steering wheel with motorsport-inspired detailing, and updated physical controls including a revised PRND selector with metal finishes and haptic feedback. The Gran Cabrio follows the same mechanical and design updates as the Gran Turismo, with both 483 horsepower and 582 horsepower Nettuno V6 variants carrying over to the drop top. But the version that sees the biggest change is the Gran Cabrio Folgore. Maserati's electric Folgore convertible and coupe sits at the top of the range with a 3-motor setup producing and a 92.5 kWh battery delivering up to 751 horsepower. Torque vectoring across the rear axle allows for precise power delivery, and performance remains impressive even by supercar standards, with a top speed of around 180 miles per hour. That said, Maserati wanted to make sure Gran Cabrio owners were still comfy, so it added a few new features. The fabric roof, for example, now has better thermal and acoustic insulation, while an air neck warmer now comes standard on Trofeo and Folgore models. The Greykale gets one of the biggest updates in the entire lineup with a new 390 horsepower version of the 3.0-liter Nettuno V6. This engine slots between the existing 4-cylinder mild hybrid lineup and the higher-output Trofeo model, expanding the Greykale's performance portfolio. The base inline-4, as we already know, is gone from the lineup. At the top of the range, the Greykale Trofeo remains the performance option with 530 horsepower and a 0 to 62 miles per hour time of 3.8 seconds. The Folgore EV, meanwhile, lives on with around 580 kilometers of range in Europe on the WLTP cycle, around 360 miles, depending on the configuration. In terms of design, the Greykale's front fascia sees the biggest change, with a new horizontal, lower profile look inspired by the GT2 Stradale. The Greykale's updated front end also consists of new bumpers, fresh grille treatments, and revised side air intakes. New 20 and 21-inch wheel options also join the lineup for 2027, dubbed Asteria and Chrono. There's also a new Grigio Lamira paint job as part of the automaker's Furizzi customization program. Hop inside, and Maserati designers fitted a new octagonal-style steering wheel with a dedicated lower spoke. It's available in perforated leather or Alcantara on the Trofeo version. Maserati designers also added a digital clock to the cabin, just on top of the dashboard, with a mineral crystal dial. Those tweaks are joined by a head-up display and a central touchscreen measuring 12.3 inches. Pricing has yet to be announced for any of these models, but expect to see them in dealerships before the end of the year.